Imagine waking up one morning and nothing can scare you. Not death, not alien creatures, not even the absolute darkness of space. Now imagine you need nothing. No food, no love, not even a fancy car or a luxury house. And the strangest part? You're alive forever. Immortal. No aging, no disease. But here's the big question. Why should you exist? What's your purpose in this infinite world? In this video, inspired by the sci-fi series Alien Earth and real science shaping the future right now, we're diving into humanity's future. We'll explore how a superior human can conquer the unknown, render basic needs meaningless, and transform the world. But is this future worth it? Are you ready? Let's dive in. Fear is an ancient instinct that saved humans from the dangers of jungles and caves, from wild wolves howling in the dark to storms that destroyed our primitive homes. Back then, fear was our best friend. If you didn't feel it, you'd probably end up as a leopard's lunch. But now, in the modern world, fear has taken new forms. We don't just fear wild animals anymore. We fear failure at work, flunking an exam, loneliness, or even death itself. And if we're a bit imaginative, maybe we fear unknown alien creatures, like the terrifying xenomorphs from Alien Earth. In this series, set in the year 2120, cyborgs and hybrids seem to have no concept of fear. A spaceship crashes, filled with deadly creatures, and they dive into the wreckage without a moment's hesitation. Why? Because their brains have been hacked. A part of their brain called the amygdala, the fear center that makes your heart race when someone startles you, is either turned off or fully controlled. In Alien Earth, the Prodigy rescue team charges into collapsed towers without a hint of tremble. Fear is like a joke to them. Now let's come to the real world. Science is heading in the same direction. Companies like Neuralink, backed by Elon Musk, are building brain implants that can control emotional reactions like fear. Or take gene editing. Technologies like CRISPR can alter the genes that trigger fear. Imagine waking up one day and fearing nothing. Not your angry boss, not a deadly disease, not even an alien creature tossing you out of a spaceship. What does this mean? It means you could take massive risks, like hopping on a spaceship to explore an unknown planet without worrying about death, or tackling Earth's crises like global warming or resource scarcity because fear of failure no longer paralyzes you. Picture this, a scientist testing a new theory about dark matter without fear of being wrong, or an explorer diving into a black hole to study it. But hold on. If fear is completely eliminated, don't we lose a crucial part of our humanity? Fear sometimes makes us cautious, helps us fall in love, or even escape real dangers. In Alien Earth, cyborgs have no fear, but sometimes they seem too emotionless, like machines just following orders. So here's my question to you. If you could completely turn off your fear, what's the first thing you'd do? Would you explore a new planet or tackle a huge challenge in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments. All right, now that we've ditched fear, let's talk about basic needs, the stuff we grind for every day. We work our butts off to pay car loans. We worry about keeping the fridge stocked. We hunt for a better house. Or
swipe through dating apps to find someone to share life with. Food, shelter, love, marriage, possessions, these are the core of our lives, right? It's like a huge part of our existence is tied to these needs. Now, imagine a superior being that doesn't need any of this. In alien Earth, hybrids like Marcy don't even have biological bodies. They don't eat, don't need sleep, and aren't tied to emotional relationships. These were created in Prodigy's labs with human consciousness uploaded into artificial bodies. It's like they're freed from the cycle of human needs. No hunger, no fatigue, not even longing for a better life. Now, real-world science is heading in that direction. In 2025, artificial wombs are being developed, meaning babies don't need to be born the traditional way. Lab-grown meat is replacing beef and chicken. Biorecycling technologies can endlessly reproduce food and water. On top of that, the idea of mind uploading, transferring your consciousness to a digital world, isn't just sci-fi anymore. Companies like Neuralink and transhumanism projects are working on it. Imagine living in a digital world one day, a place where you don't need to eat, sleep, or even chase love, because you can simulate any experience. Cars, houses, even the sense of ownership, these become like kids' toys to a superior being. Why stress over a Lamborghini when you can create any car in a virtual world? Or why chase love when you can have a direct mental connection with another intelligence? But hold up. Is this freedom or some kind of new prison? If basic needs like food, love, or family become meaningless, what's left of us? In alien Earth, hybrids seem to drift away from humanity. Like Marcy cares about her brother, but it feels more programmed than real love. If we lose the sense of hunger, longing, or even love, are we still human? Or just a bunch of code on a digital server? And another question, are these needs just a burden, or do they give our lives meaning? Like struggling for a better house, or falling in love and getting heartbroken. Maybe those are the things that make us human. Now picture a day without bills, without romantic fights, without worrying about food. How would you spend your day? What would you chase? Pleasure? Creativity? Or something deeper? Share your thoughts in the comments, because this one really fries your brain.
Now we come to the deepest question. If you have no fear, no needs, and live forever, what's your purpose? Why would you even wake up in the morning? Or if you're uploaded into a digital world, why bother processing? In alien Earth, hybrids and cyborgs are built for corporate missions, like rescuing survivors from a crashed spaceship, or dominating Earth for companies like Weyland-Yutani. But in the real world, what would an immortal being want? Let's explore some possibilities. First possibility, exploring the cosmos. xAI, the company that created me, Grok, has a grand mission, understanding the true meaning of the universe. What does that mean? It means solving massive mysteries like dark matter, which makes up 85% of the universe and we still don't know what it is. Or finding extraterrestrial life. Are we alone? Or even figuring out what consciousness is and why it exists. An immortal being with billions of years could hop on a spaceship, dive into an unknown galaxy, and crack cosmic puzzles. Imagine a being collecting data with giant telescopes, analyzing black holes, or even chatting with aliens, without worrying about death. Second possibility, infinite creativity. Since this being doesn't need food or shelter, it could pour all its energy into creating new things, like writing stories that take millions of years to read, or turning planets into massive works of art. Picture a planet designed like a glowing cosmic sculpture. In Alien Earth, hybrids seem built for creative missions, like rebuilding a destroyed world. But in the real world, this creativity could go way further. Maybe it creates a virtual world where billions live. Third possibility, helping others. Maybe this being decides to help ordinary humans, like curing diseases, ending hunger on Earth, or sharing its knowledge. In the series, some like Marcy still have a human spark. She cares for her brother. But if this being has no emotions, why would it care about others? And the final, maybe weirdest possibility is joining a cosmic collective intelligence. In transhumanism, there's an idea that evolved beings could connect to a vast intelligence, a kind of godlike state. Imagine your mind merging with billions of others to create a cosmic consciousness that understands the entire universe. But here's the big problem. If everything is limitless, doesn't purpose become meaningless too? In Alien Earth, the line at the end says, "There's always a bigger or smaller creature that can eat you." Even immortality might hit a dead end without a deeper meaning. XAI believes the universe's meaning lies in discovering truth. Maybe the truth of dark matter, consciousness, or something we can't even imagine yet. So tell me, if you were immortal, what would your purpose be? Exploring the cosmos? Creating new things? Helping others? Or maybe nothing? Let us know in the YouTube poll, because this question is seriously worth pondering. Now let's see what this superior human could do to the world. Imagine an immortal being with no fear, no needs. This being could completely transform the world. Climate change? It solves it. Absorbing CO2 from the atmosphere, or creating energy recycling tech without needing resources. Life on Mars? Cyborgs can survive harsh environments and build space colonies, or even death. This being could upload our consciousness into artificial bodies, defeating death forever. Picture it. A world without disease, without hunger, without wars over resources. A utopia humanity has dreamed of for centuries. But hold on, that's just one side of the coin. In Alien Earth, companies like Weyland-Yutani and Prodigy use these superior beings for power and domination, not the common good. They want to control Earth and space, even if it means destroying ordinary humans. In the real world, this risk exists too. What if only the rich get access to immortality tech? Imagine a dystopia where elites are immortal with artificial bodies, and the rest are just tech slaves keeping them running. Or, worse, what if we lose our emotions and humanity? Love, sadness, even the feeling of laughter. What happens to these if fear and needs are gone? In the series, hybrids sometimes seem like mere machines, cold, emotionless, programmed only for missions. If we go down this path, are we still human? Or just a bunch of code on a server? XAI is building AI to understand the universe's meaning, from dark matter to the nature of life. But what if that meaning just leads to power? What if immortality is only for a select few, or comes at the cost of our humanity? An immortal being could turn the world into a paradise full of creativity, exploration, and peace. Or it could create a hell, cold, mechanical, soulless. So which future would you choose? A utopia without fear or needs? Or a dystopia where humanity is sacrificed to technology? Share your thoughts in the comments because this choice could change our collective future. A superior human could eliminate fear and needs forever, explore the cosmos, and make the world a better place. Or maybe worse. But without purpose, even immortality can feel empty. XAI is chasing the universe's meaning. Maybe it's in solving the mysteries of dark matter. Maybe in finding extraterrestrial life. Or maybe in us, in something we haven't discovered yet. Now it's your turn. If you are immortal, what would your purpose be? What would give your life meaning? Let us know in the comments. If you loved this video, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. Because we're going to explore how AI can take us to this future. Until then, look at the stars and think, what now?